The hospital always smelled like a crime scene that had been scrubbed too hard. Bleach and antiseptic layered over something older. Fear, regret, the metallic whisper of blood that never quite leaves the walls. Machines hummed like bored gods, keeping time with the thinning pulses of people who had run out of luck. The rhythm of the heart monitor beside my bed clicked and beeped in a patient, mechanical metronome, marking the seconds I wasn't supposed to have anymore. The room was private. Of course it was. Even dying rich men don't have roommates. My window looked out over a manicured courtyard that tried too hard to pretend death wasn't the building's primary export. There was a leather chair in the corner, a mahogany side table, and a bouquet of lilies someone had sent, funeral flowers that arrived early, like vultures scouting the buffet. Lydia sat beside my bed, all porcelain skin and trembling lips, her manicured fingers wrapped around my hand like a rosary. She leaned close, her breath warm, her voice low and syrupy. "Elias, please, don't leave me. I can't live without you. I swear I'll take care of you forever. I'll never leave your side." Her eyes glistened. Perfect moisture level, not too dry, not too wet. Oscar-worthy grief. I would have applauded if my heart monitor didn't rat me out with every spike of sarcasm in my chest. I lay there with my eyes half-lidded, mouth slack, chest rising just shallow enough to sell the part. The doctors said heart attack. I said performance art. The pills were real. The weakness was real. But the drama, that was all me. I wanted to see what she'd do when she thought the vault was about to open. Lydia was 28. I was 63. She married my balance sheet and tolerated my bones. We met at a charity gala. Her smile was expensive, her laugh a rental. She told me she loved mature men with vision. Translation, men whose wills were already drafted. I'd always known what she was, a vulture in silk, a rose with thorns sharpened for inheritance, but knowing something and proving it are two different sins. She squeezed my hand tighter. "I don't care about the money, Elias. You know that. I just need you. You're my whole world." I almost laughed. My whole world. I owned shipping companies in 3 countries, an island I'd never visited, and a Swiss account that could buy her 10 new whole worlds. But sure, my failing heart was the center of her emotional universe. Inside my skull, my real thoughts crawled like rats through walls. "You're too good at this, Lydia. Too fast on the vows, too quick with the promises. That's not love, that's closing arguments." I felt her thumb brushing my knuckles in slow, practiced circles, the kind of touch you use when you're trying to soothe a child or convince a dying man to sign something. The nurse had left 10 minutes ago. The doctor had said I needed rest. Lydia nodded dutifully, eyes wide, hands clasped. The moment the door shut, her shoulders dropped half an inch. Micro-relaxation, predator easing back into its natural posture. I stayed still. I let my breathing go slack and irregular. Let my eyelids flutter and settle. Let the monitor do the talking. The machine kept humming. I kept pretending. I drifted into what she thought was sleep. The silence thickened. She whispered my name once more. "Elias?" Nothing. She waited, counted my breaths, watched my chest rise and fall. Her grip loosened, just a little. Her face changed. The grief didn't vanish. It calcified, turned practical. She stood up carefully, smoothing her dress. The widow rehearsal was over. The business meeting was about to begin. I kept my eyes closed. I let the darkness behind my eyelids become a stage curtain. In my mind, I pictured the birds circling. The hum of the machines filled the room like a held breath. Then, her phone vibrated. A soft, traitorous buzz in the silence. Lydia froze. So did my heart. The phone buzzed again, softer this time. Lydia stared at it like it had just whispered her real name. Then her face changed. It wasn't dramatic, no villain grin, no soap opera sneer, just a subtle deflation, like someone letting the air out of a party balloon. The grief slid off her features and puddled on the floor. The trembling lips went still, the eyes went flat. Whatever saint she'd been playing 10 seconds ago stepped off stage and lit a cigarette backstage. She turned her back to my bed and answered in a whisper that wasn't tender. "Hey." Her voice wasn't syrup anymore. It was steel wrapped in velvet. I lay there dead to the world. Dead men hear everything. "Yeah, I'm with him. He's out, completely out. Looks like a fossil in a museum display." A pause, a soft, ugly chuckle. "I told you. The doctor said heart attack. It's just a matter of time now." She walked to the window, lowering her voice even more, but the room carried sound like a confession booth. Private hospital rooms are echo chambers for betrayal. "No, don't come here. Not yet. I don't need you showing up like a horny ghost before the paperwork's signed." Another pause. Longer. Whatever he said made her smile. God, that smile. It wasn't pretty, it was efficient. Of course I checked the will. I'm not stupid. Everything transfers to me. The trusts, the house, the investments. I just need him to finish dying like a gentleman. She leaned against the wall, crossing her legs, bored. "Once it's done, I'm redecorating his study first. That mausoleum of leather and dust, gone. I'm thinking white walls, glass shelves, something modern, none of that old man cigar bar bullshit." I felt something inside my chest tighten that had nothing to do with arteries. She kept talking. "And the cars? Oh my God, the cars. I'm selling them all. Who the hell needs 12 vintage Jaguars? It's like living inside a midlife crisis. I'll keep maybe one for Instagram. The rest, auction. Liquidate the nostalgia." Her laughter was light, almost musical, a vulture's song. "He still thinks I love him," she said. "Can you believe that? 63 and still falling for bedtime stories? I had to sit there and tell him I couldn't live without him. Without him, as if I wouldn't be popping champagne the second he flatlines." I lay there, breathing slow, even, mechanical. My body was a coffin with a pulse. She lowered her voice into something intimate, something wet. "Baby, relax. We'll have the house to ourselves soon. No more pretending, no more playing nurse. Just me, you, and his money. God, I'm so sick of this place and his shriveled old heart refusing to just let go." Shriveled old heart. I tasted copper. She paced now, restless, predator waiting for prey to stop twitching. "I swear, if he drags this out another week, I'm going to lose my mind. How hard is it to die on schedule? He's always been selfish, even now." She rolled her eyes, as if I could see her. No, I won't do anything stupid. Jesus, I'm not pushing pillows over his face like a movie villain. We do this clean, natural, perfect widow, tears, black dress, sympathy checks. I play my part, then we disappear to somewhere warm." She paused, listening. "Yes, I love you too," she said, in a tone that actually meant it. "Just be patient, it's almost over." She ended the call. The silence that followed wasn't empty. It was full of corpses. I stayed still. Inside me, something cold and surgical unfolded. Not anger, not panic.
Rage, yes, but the kind that doesn't scream, the kind that takes notes, the kind that sharpens knives slowly, carefully, and smiles while it does it. Every whisper she'd fed me earlier replayed in my head. I can't live without you. I'll take care of you forever. You're my whole world. Every word was a counterfeit bill. She turned back toward my bed. For a second, she studied me with professional curiosity. Not a wife, not a lover, an appraiser checking if the asset had finally depreciated to zero. She stepped closer. I felt the heat of her body near my face. Her fingers hovered over my wrist, hesitated, then pressed lightly against my pulse. I didn't move, didn't flinch, didn't betray the storm ripping through my ribs. Her eyes narrowed. She leaned closer, watching my chest, counting my breaths, waiting. Then, satisfied, for now, she straightened up. Still alive, she muttered, annoyed. She turned and headed for the door. I'll get a nurse, she said to the room. Maybe they can hurry things along. The door opened, the door closed, and I lay there, smiling in the dark.
The door opened like the curtain on a bad play. Lydia came back in first, wearing her grief again. It sat crooked on her face now, rushed, sloppily reapplied. Her eyes were wet. Her mouth trembled on cue. Behind her, the doctor followed, clipboard in hand, already rehearsing the soft, apologetic tone men use when they're about to pronounce someone half dead. They stopped when they saw my eyes open. I wasn't gasping. I wasn't fading. I wasn't trembling. I was sitting upright. The doctor blinked. Lydia froze. For the first time since I'd met her, she looked genuinely afraid. "Elias," she whispered. "Oh my God, you're awake." I smiled. Not a warm smile, not a forgiving one. The kind of smile you see right before a judge reads the verdict. "I heard you," I said quietly. Her hand went to her mouth. "He's confused," she told the doctor too fast. "Heart attack patients, they hallucinate, they—" "In talk about wallpaper," I finished. "About selling Jaguars. About champagne the second I flatlined." The room went cold. The doctor looked between us, confused, uncomfortable, already regretting his career choice. Lydia's grief mask slid off her face like wet paint. "Elias, please, I was scared. I said things. I didn't mean them." I laughed. "You didn't mean the part about my money, or the part about your lover waiting for my body to cool down." Her eyes flicked to the door. I saw the calculations start. "While you were in the hall," I said, "calling him baby and planning my funeral playlist, my lawyer was already here." Her face drained. "You see," I went on, "I've been pretending to be stupid for a long time. It makes predators feel safe." I walked to the side table and picked up a manila folder. "I didn't leave the money to charity," I said. Her shoulders sagged with relief. For half a second, "I left it to my first wife." The silence cracked. What?" she whispered. "Marianne," I said. "The woman who stood next to me when I had nothing but debt and bad ideas. The woman who built this empire with her hands while I built it with my mouth. The woman I traded in for a younger model when I got bored of loyalty." She stared at me like I'd just confessed to murder. "Everything," I said. "The estates, the accounts, the companies, the art, the island, all of it." She shook her head. "No,
No, that's not possible. I'm your wife. It's mine. I slid the folder onto the bed. The ink is dry, the witnesses signed, the notary stamped it. You get nothing. Her mouth opened, closed, opened again. You're lying, she said, voice breaking. I'm rich, not stupid. Her knees buckled. She caught herself on the chair. You can't do this to me. I gave you everything. I looked at her. You gave me a performance. Tears finally came, real ones. What about me? She choked. What am I supposed to do? I shrugged. Pay your lawyer, pack your clothes, find a new heart to suck dry. She lunged forward. Elias, please! Get out. Her sobs turned into something sharp, hysterical, animal. You old bastard, she screamed. You ruined my life. No, I said. You ruined your audition. Security came 5 minutes later. She left screaming. I stayed standing. Marianne called me that night. She didn't gloat. She just said, You finally learned. Some people spend their whole lives digging a grave for someone else, only to realize too late they're the ones standing at the bottom.